This is the basic tutorial for the mics that we use here in the church. So two of the most popular mics we use are wireless. We have a wireless handheld and a wireless lavalier mic. So the batteries for the handheld go inside here. Both mics use double A's, and we typically like to use the rechargeable ones that can be found in the Celebration Hall lighting booth. But to close up the handheld's mic, you want to screw it in. Screw it in closed. To turn it on, you'll turn it on here. But the first thing you need to do when turning on mics is to turn on the rack that controls the receivers, especially for the wireless ones. So you want to press on. That also controls the audio board sitting here. And if you have any questions throughout your time using the microphones, we do have one sheets of information with different tips and locations of things on the microphones that you might need to know. So you'll see that these are receivers. When a receiver is red like that, it either means that the mic is off or it's muted. So you'll see it says mute, and usually there'll be a power level right here. So you know that the mic's off since there's no power level. To turn on the microphone, the handheld one is here on the bottom. You'll hold down that little red button. It'll turn on, the screen will turn on here. And you should see one of the receivers turn yellow. So when you're talking into the mic, you'll see the levels here moving up and down. And you also have the power level here. You'll find where this is connected, the receiver to the board, by looking for the lights turning on in that specific channel. So to mute these mics, you press this button here. And this will go red, and the light will turn off, and that means the mic is muted. Typically, we mute them back here from the board. But sometimes the people who are speaking like to mute it themselves. So when you're turning it off, you just hold down that button. The light will turn off, and you're good to go. The other mic we use here is a lavalier, a wireless lavalier mic. You can see we've labeled whose it is. To turn them on, you want to press down the sides here, open it up, hold down that on button. The light will turn on, and you'll see that we have 2 battery level. And when mute appears like this, the words mute, that means that they've muted their mic. And you can go to the top here and unmute it, and you'll see it's working here. And it pops up yellow right here. If you ever need to change the frequency on these mics, you can go to set and select frequency to match up with one of the receivers over here. So we'll see that it's channel 8-9. And we'll see that here is channel 8-9. This frequency doesn't matter as much because the best way to set the frequency on both the mic and the receiver are the numbers here for the channel. When you're done with this, you'll hold down the power button here and the mic will turn off. So we'll go and see one of the other mics. Typically the other type of mic that we use here or have here at the church that isn't brought in by either our band or musicians will be one that is powered by phantom power. And it's a simple stick mic, whether it's a handheld stick mic or one of our more choir mics. So we'll show you one of the choir mics right here. So here is one of our choir mics. We use these here in the sanctuary because they're best at picking up multiple singers from a distance. You can see that this mic is attached with an XLR 3-pin cable. So these are the ones that we use for the microphones here. Most of the mics that we use will have a 3-pin XLR cable. This piece right here is the mic clip. You want to make sure that the mic clip you choose for each mic fits snugly and you can't easily pull it out. You want to make sure it's in there snug so it's not sliding and falling off. This here is a mic stand. We have 2 different types of mic stands here. This one has an extra arm, and that's for extending it out further. And these mic stands just have the one. All of the mics we have in the sanctuary, and you'll see this in Celebration Hall, if they're not wireless, they're wired to the little black boxes here on the floor. You can open it up and see that we have 4 different mics plugged in. Each mic is labeled with the mic number. So this one right here is 23, 22, 21. To take these off, you want to push the button in and pull it out, and you'll see it's 3-pin XLR. In these boxes, we also have what's called monitor, and that's another word for a speaker. And they're plugged in here. They have a different output. We'll show you one of the speakers we have here on the stage. The plug for the speakers look like this, if you need to know that, and they'll plug into where monitor is labeled. When you're running cables on the stage, you want to make sure that you kind of try and run them as clean as you can. As you see, there's a little bit of a mess here. That's because I've moved this mic. But typically, we don't want to have them up like this because people could walk over it and trip. That is the end of the basic mic tutorial here in the church.